Welcome, friends, to JW Frogcast. We are here once again as your favorite governing body members selected by Jehovah himself. Your favorite brother, you heard me, and we also have...
Brother, let me get $1.
And we want to warn the friends about the rise of apostasy, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We do. So let's make sure we always go to jw.org and see what Jehovah has to say.
To the website.
All right, let's go back to the liquor store. Welcome back, YouTube, for part 2.
Yes, we are back with y'all, and we are excited. What are we going to talk about today?
All right, so last time we talked about how manipulating the friendships are being friends with a Jehovah's Witness, but there was a second part. Being inside the congregation is like there's levels to this. So you got the way that you are picky with your friends outside the hall because you're not supposed to do that. So you would think, all right, so if I become a Jehovah's Witness, I'm good, right?
That's what you would think.
Yeah, wrong.
As long as we serve the same God, we should be fine, right?
You would think, but no. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So let's look into it.
Okay, brothers and sisters, this is your favorite brother, Let Me Get $1, and we are going to go to the website. And don't you guys forget, do not search up anything else on any other platform but jw.org. Okay, so the first thing that I think we need to look at is to see what Watchtower says about friends.
All right.
Okay.
What we got for them then?
So in this article, it says, does it matter who your friends are? Helpful facts that young people want to know. So first paragraph, it says, having friends is one of the things that contributes most to the joy of living. People who isolate themselves and shun others are never really happy. What is there about companionship that adds so much to our happiness?
And this is what is very important about what they call apostate lies, apostate literatures, apostate videos. When you watch these videos, we are not typing up and making up articles.
Our own literature.
No.
Never.
Ever. All we do is say, all right,
jw.org.
jw.org, or the stuff they tried to sweep under the rug, and we go, hey, look what they said. So as you all seen, we'll put it on the screen again. Right where it points out, people who isolate themselves and shun others are never really happy.
This is straight from them.
That's them. All right, so now that we all on the same page, even you witnesses sneaking and watching this stuff, don't say that we telling lies.
Go look up the article.
Look that up. So now that we noticed this paragraph, we're going to go to another one in another article, and we're going to point out some more things brought out by Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep. Okay, so we did all see, plain as day, that they said they don't shun others, right?
Right, we seen it.
Okay, we seen it, all right.
Yeah.
So, let's go to another article. Do Jehovah's Witnesses shun those who used to belong to their religion? Let's read it. First 2 paragraphs. Those who were baptized as Jehovah's Witnesses but no longer preach to others, perhaps even drifting away from association with fellow believers, are not shunned. In fact, we reach out to them and try to rekindle their spiritual interest. BS. We do not automatically disfellowship someone who commits a serious sin. If, however, a baptized witness makes a practice of breaking the Bible's moral code and does not repent, he or she will be shunned or disfellowshipped. The Bible clearly states, remove the wicked man from among yourselves. We need to talk about this.
All right, let's stop. So I don't even know what part to bring out. I like how they try to twist it as if people are only disfellowshipped if they want to be disfellowshipped, pretty much.
That's what
or if they're
saying.
unrepentant.
Or if they're doing it multiple times. But all of us know the actual reality of it. And that we all know of multiple accounts. Maybe even ourselves have been the victim of it. But messing up one time and you going and telling them what happened or whatever, and you leave the judgment into these brothers' hands, and they decide if you get disfellowshipped or not. It's not about making a practice of anything, because you literally could have done something one time and you get in forever trouble about it or get disfellowshipped, and it follows you everywhere that you go. It's like on your publisher card.
It is.
Yeah.
That is bogus how they try to point that out. And even the fact that somebody is coming forward to say, I I'm sorry about this.
Yes.
How
that
can
shows
you,
repentance.
That's repentance. And then coming and saying, I want to talk to the brothers and meeting with you. And then saying, you know what? We decided this fellowship. And the fact that that person could be sad about it,
yep,
that is common sense that this person feels remorse.
Exactly. And I think some of the PMOs or other people can also comment about this, but like in the elders manual, I don't know, because I've never been an elder, but I feel like there has to be some kind of criteria in there for people who do get disfellowshipped, because a lot of it has to do with who knows what all happened, who knows what went down, like was there a crowd of people, was there other Jehovah's Witnesses involved, and if like the answers to these questions is yes, 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 then that makes or break it for you on whether you get disfellowshipped or reproved, in private versus public reproof. We all know that being on the inside, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it also can be who you are and who your family is, because there's a lot of favorites.
Yes, that is so true. I actually feel like, I think I expressed this in one of our other videos, but the witnesses at our hall always used to say that like me and my family, we were some of the favorites. And it would be an ongoing thing, and I don't think that I really saw it until I did go through the process, like the reproof process and everything like that, because I feel like if it was somebody else who would have done the same thing, they would have been boom, immediately disfellowshipped. You know what I'm saying? But because of who you might have ties to within the religion, or we were like really close friends with one of the coordinating elder or whatever,
right? And
we were always close to him, so favoritism does come out. Like, you can't act like it doesn't. We're humans, you know? And I know of other situations where somebody does something wrong one time and they
out the door.
Yeah, they get disfellowshipped for it. Yeah. And then they'll try to write their letter. It happened to you too. Write their letter in, boom, no, not accepted. Yep. Boom, not accepted. Or another person can write their letter in one time after multiple years. It's like, yeah, you're ready.
Yep, and that's it.
Yeah,
it was a congregation on the outskirts of Dayton called Miamisburg, and it was known for slaps on the wrist. Yeah. The people at that hall, that was the first time I ever heard of somebody, a sister getting pregnant and not getting this fellowship.
Yeah.
You know, because at our hall, you get pregnant automatically. There was nobody getting reproved for that. But out there, the sister got put on reproof. It was people out there that got disfellowship for a few months and was right back. It was people that had been doing stuff for years, might get on reproof, get in trouble again, get reproof again, and then like myself, I got in trouble one time and was disfellowship. So it's all like this stuff.
It's all like who you know. It's just like any other corporation where you're moving up in the ladder. You know, it's about who you know that's on the inside. And for elders' kids and stuff like that, like they definitely get multiple slaps on the wrist. And I really feel like their parents be telling them like, well, you know, you expressed it to me, so you don't have to go and, you know, have to tell the other elders. You told me.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
It gets tricky. We'll jump back into this little article. We'll finish the last two paragraphs because after this, you know, we about to flip it around and show you the hypocrisy coming from them.
Yeah.
So look at this. It says, "What of a man who is disfellowshipped, but whose wife and children are still Jehovah's Witnesses? The religious ties he had with his family changed, but blood ties remain. The marriage relationship and normal family affections and dealings continue. Disfellowshipped individuals may attend our religious service if they wish. They may also receive spiritual counsel from congregation elders. The goal is to help each individual once more to qualify to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Disfellowshipped people who reject improper conduct and demonstrate a sincere desire to live by the Bible's principles are always welcome to become Jehovah's Witnesses again." Now let's go back into this paragraph because this is how tricky Jehovah's Witnesses, the writers and the governing body are. So if you see where it says disfellowshipped individuals may still attend our religious services. If you're not a witness, you think, okay, well that's not bad. Disfellowship, but you can still come to the service. All right, cool. But if you have been a Jehovah's Witness or you are one, you know how disfellowship people are treated in the hall. So you come to the hall, nobody is talking to you. People are not even looking at you, making eye contact. The only people that do that are the ones that's not following the rules, that might smile, that really rock with you, but they got to be sneaky about it because you'll get in trouble I remember I got in trouble for sitting in the same aisle with my disfellowship cousin along with my uncle and the rest of us, and one of the elders had the nerve to ask me, you weren't talking to your cousin, were you? For one, I wasn't talking to her, and if I was, it ain't none of your business.
Right.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
So this is how
your family affairs should continue, right?
Right. Ain't
just
that what they
normal.
say?
That's what they said.
Yeah. So no. Now, when you come into this congregation as a Jehovah's Witness, they paint it like, oh, you still get to participate in the songs. It's not like we singing like this together. No,
right.
You are. Most people don't want to sit by you.
No.
They don't talk to you the whole time. They don't look at you. Some people even take it to the extent, like for me, people wouldn't hold the door when I was behind them.
That's ridiculous.
It gets to that. So don't try to paint it like, oh, you're still...
They're still welcome. It's not welcome anymore. You don't feel welcome because, for one, everybody is looking at you and they know that you're disfellowship. They know that you're there. So a lot of times you're trying to be like the fly on the wall whenever you're coming back. Because whenever my mom was disfellowshipped and we were starting to go back to the Kingdom Hall, our exclusive place to sit was in the back room, and we would just roll up the blinds. And me and my sister weren't disfellowshipped; we weren't even baptized yet. You know what I'm saying? But we all sat in the back room, and as soon as that prayer was done, we were out.
Yup, out
immediately. And it's crazy because looking back, we would feel some kind of like happiness when one of the elders would come running up behind us and say, hey, it's so nice to see you at the meeting today, and offered like those types of words of encouragement. But in reality, this whole thing is effed. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. No. It shouldn't be a thing to have to feel that way going into a place of worship. Yeah,
especially like you said at the end, is praying you out. Now, people, this is the thing they leave out. When you are disfellowship and you leaving, is people mingling and talking in the aisles, and you can't talk to people, and you have to awkwardly scoot your way all the way through all these people to get out the door to get to your car and leave. Or even if it's a convention or assembly where it's lunch in the middle of it, you have to wiggle through thousands of people to get outside, because chances are you got to eat by yourself in your car.
In your car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We used to go to my grandma's house because she lived close to the assembly hall. So we would just go there for lunch, which really we weren't supposed to because she was a witness. But they did say family affairs should continue, right? Blood ties remain the same, which is also not the truth. How many people do we know that don't even speak to their own family anymore because they are disfellowshipped? And they try to point out in here, they're literally just saying, like, if a man is disfellowshipped and they still have wife and kids, but you have more family than just wife and kids.
Right.
You have, you could have a husband, you could have cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and the truth is, you're not supposed to talk to them anymore.
No, and they create rules inside the rules to where if you all live in the same house, you can kind of still talk. Yeah. But if a family member, it gets to some family members kick family out, kick their kids out if they get disfellowshipped, and now they're not talking to them. Exactly. Same with parents. Or you might have a disfellowship mom or dad, and now you look at them a different way. You don't look at them as, this is somebody Jehovah cares about, or this is somebody just under Jehovah's protection.
Yep.
Now it's like, all right, now I don't have to take your advice because even though you my parent, you did something bad that this cult said you couldn't do, so now I don't respect you the same.
Yeah, and you carry that with you, like, oh, I don't respect you because you're not on my level. I'm doing what Jehovah wants me to do, and you're not. That's the energy that comes with it. It's so funny how up in the first paragraph it said that baptized Jehovah's Witnesses who are no longer preaching or are drifting away from association with believers are not shunned. They literally italicized not and said they are not shunned. Why are they lying?
Well, we about to show them why they lying.
We have expressed this multiple times. Both of us, neither one of us are technically disfellowshipped, okay?
Right.
But listen, are we shunned?
Are we shunned? And the next article will pretty much flip this one upside down.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so for this next part of the video, we are just going to go back into the Choose Friends Who Love God Watchtower Little Study Edition. If you haven't seen our part 1 to this video, check it out. It's the video posted right before this.
Yep.
So just like we said in that video, Jehovah's Witnesses are really not allowed to have worldly friends. Yeah. So, they even have to be extremely picky within the congregation, okay? People who are not worldly. So we're going to go into paragraph 12. It says, In the congregation, we can learn from our brothers and sisters and help one another to stay faithful. But even in the congregation, we need to be careful about who we choose to be our close friends. We have a wonderful variety of brothers and sisters from many cultures and backgrounds. Some are new to the congregation, while others have been serving Jehovah for many years. It takes time for a person's relationship with Jehovah to grow, just as it takes time for a fruit to ripen. So we need to show patience and love to one another and always choose our friends wisely.
Now this is like, all right, I thought all I had to do was preach, like it said earlier in this article, those who follow Jesus' principles and preach the good news are acceptable friends. So it's like, all right, now that I joined this organization, this truth, and I'm knocking on doors, I should be good. Now it's like, whoa, now that you're here, it's like, wait, there's more. And it's like, dang, I got more I gotta do.
And this is what's so frustrating about Jehovah's Witnesses and the organization is that sadly, many of the people who follow the organization are weak-minded. And if you're not weak-minded, then you're considered one of the people who are like bad association. Because you have an opinion for yourself, okay? And you hold steady to your opinion without other people affecting that. They do not like that because they want everybody to be almost robotic and to just follow what they say. So just like it says later in this paragraph where it says, some are new to the congregation and it takes time for a person's relationship with Jehovah to grow. No, baby. It takes time for a person to be indoctrinated, okay?
Brainwashed.
So they don't want people who are just coming in for you to be close friends with them. So even if you're supposed to like be able to take somebody under your wing, but if you ever notice, it's like a very spiritual seeming person that takes that person that's just coming in under their wing.
That pioneer, that elder.
The one that is like everything, exemplary.
That's who they want to brainwash the new people.
Because then they'll get the best candidate for their brainwashing and everything.
And this is the person you want to be like. You want to be super brainwashed like this person, and you're not there yet. So we need the best of the best to kind of brainwash you.
And I remember even times where the pioneer sister who did take that person under their wing, they're like, make sure that you make so-and-so feel welcome. She's like new here. But if you would go and try to actually make a friendship with them on your own, it was kind of like weary, like, oh, I don't want you to influence her. I don't want her to influence you. She has a lot going on at home and da-da-da. It was like a whole story. And it was never just like, we can vibe,
That's it. And then on top of that, it's very unlikely outside of the study and the religion that elder is going to be hanging out with this study, out kicking it. We ain't about to be, he coming to the house, we chilling. That's because
so
he's bad association. He's not quite there yet. Or even dating. This person, you can't be in a relationship fresh into the congregation
and
like
be
that.
You can't start dating as soon as you become a witness.
Not somebody
that's like
that got
frowned upon.
Somebody that got a super title. A pioneer sister can't date this brand new study who ain't he just fresh out the water. It's like, no, that's frowned upon.
That gets a lot of flack. And the thing is, do you remember this scripture where they talk about Jehovah needs to be able to mold you. So you need to be moldable like clay. Okay. So having that mindset constantly, and you're constantly being told something like that, it does weaken your mind. So now you're more susceptible whenever somebody is doing something that you don't agree with to go with it, because you are moldable, and you're moldable in all ways. And they teach you to be that way. And they try to do it for the benefit of them, the governing body. But it happens that it produces a lot of weaker-minded people, which
can backfire, because if somebody has some legit information that shows that this is a cult, they have to limit any type of way that could make it possible for you to catch on to this information. Right?
Exactly.
So
then they have to go and tell you, bad association spoils useful habits. Stay away from this person, that person. And people take things to an extreme within the congregation. So just like it said before, you don't have to shun people that's within it, but the truth is they get taken to complete extremes. So if somebody is doing one thing that they just simply don't agree with, like listening to rap music or something.
Right.
Okay, you listen to rap music, you're bad association, I can't talk to you anymore. Something as simple as that.
Yeah, it's like you can listen to whatever you want to listen to in private. That doesn't affect me.
Literally.
So even, pointing out the next paragraph, it shows pretty much, it backs up what we're talking about. We're not just making this up. You want to read it?
Okay. So it says, at times, a serious situation may arise in the congregation, and we will need to be especially careful. It could be that a brother or sister is doing things that the Bible says are wrong, or someone may develop a complaining attitude that could damage the congregation. This does not surprise us because even in the first century, there were problems in the congregation at times. In fact, the Apostle Paul warned Christians back then, do not be misled. Bad association spoils useful habits.
That's one of their favorite sayings right there.
Oh my gosh, the amount of times I have heard that scripture, I just want to...
Bad association. They don't even put it in categories of what bad association is. It's pretty much anything that we say you can't do.
Yep.
If they do that, they're a bad person.
And that's what I mean whenever I say they take it to the extremes as well, like the people within the organization, you know? And they're so sheep-like where it's like, if everybody is saying that one person is good association, they're like, yeah, they're great association. But they could be doing the worst things behind closed doors.
Yep.
It's just like that. That's the culture.
And some people, this is just the way they are. Like, we had he wasn't a brother. He was he had been studying since like the 70s. Mm-hmm. And he was like in his 50s at this time. And that was my dog. He was never baptized, but he was at every meeting. Yeah. He had love. He was a genuine dude. He just was like, he was wild and he was just... They called him Crazy Mark. That was my boy Mark. Yeah. And he was, hey man, something, hey brother. And he would talk everybody's head off. And he always had jokes. But people kind of frowned, upon him because, he was not trying to be serious. But he was the most genuine person. And he would always say, man, that's why I message you because you ain't fake like these other people. He would say this stuff out loud and where other people get uncomfortable and didn't want to be around him. But he was
because
like,
he was telling the truth.
He would tell the truth. And he'd be like, yeah, like it was a brother that gave a talk number 3. And he was a drunk, and he was drunk during the talk, and he was up there shaking like this on the platform. And afterwards, so afterwards, and he was a brother. You would see him at the liquor store and stuff. We had a Kroger that had a liquor store in it. You would see him coming out of there with multiple bottles of liquor. So things like that. He would make a comment after the meeting, and other people would get, uncomfortable. You uncomfortable because this study is talking about a drunk brother, but you ain't uncomfortable about this drunk brother giving a talk.
Yeah, and being on the stage. Yeah. That's the hypocrisy that I just hate. But it's because he's saying it as a study, so they immediately view him as lower than the brother who has the privilege to give a talk, even though he's an alcoholic.
Right.
Come on.
It's so much for that. So if someone has a difference of opinion, they're bad. No, there's not.
No.
But of course, they don't want people to be strong-minded.
No, they don't. It is such a privilege to have people who think differently around you and in your circle. Yeah. It's necessary to be a human of balance. Yeah. If you don't have people like that checking you every once in a while, then you don't know where there is in you to be checked at.
Because you only know what you know. So if I'm just moving this way, and somebody else says, you actually doing this, you might want to try that. Yeah. Or you would be a little more, it might benefit you more if you tried that. My ideas are only my ideas, so somebody else's ideas are helpful. Yes. And vice versa. We need people around us that have different opinions, but if everybody is doing the same thing, how else can we have progress?
Yes, there are many ways to skin a cat, and it's good to have people around you to show that to you. Yeah. But, they're trying to breed nothing but sheep.
That's what they want. Moving to the next paragraph 14. All right, so here it says, we must protect our relationship with Jehovah. And y'all know Jehovah is the governing body. It is the most precious thing we have. So we avoid being close friends with anyone, even your mama, anyone who could weaken our faith and damage that relationship. Just as we cannot soak a sponge of vinegar and expect it to become filled with water, we cannot have friends who do wrong things and expect that it will be easy for us to do the right things. We need to choose our friends carefully. That is a very weak-minded thing. You can have friends that are different from you. You can have just think about in real life.
Yeah.
You can have a friend that, you know, he's into martial arts, but you don't like violence.
Yeah.
But your friend is like, he's respectful enough. Y'all still do everything together. He just got a match on Sunday.
Yeah.
But that's not like, no, because you like to box with other people who also like to box. Like, your friend is not beating up people on the street that don't want to fight. They're, you know, meeting up and having matches. Yeah. And you should be able to be like, okay, that's respectful enough. You have something you love to do.
Exactly.
Maybe I like to play the instrument, or I like jazz, or I like opera. And my friend doesn't like opera. He think it's annoying. So now we can't be friends because you're doing something that I don't know. I think opera is whack.
That part.
You know what I mean?
And this is what I find funny is what they say. We cannot have friends who do wrong things and expect that it will be easy for us to do right things. No matter what is going on in life, it's never easy to do certain things, okay? It's not easy to get up and go to the gym every day. But people do it because it's for the benefit. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to eat healthy every day, but people do it for the benefit. It's not easy to get up and go to work every day, but people do it because it's necessary.
Those are some good examples. So even if you got a good job and you got a friend who don't keep a good job, it's like, I can't hang around my friend that don't work because it's going to make me not want to go to work and pay my bills.
Like,
you know, I like to go to the gym and work out, but my friend, he like to eat McDonald's every day, so I can't hang with him because now I'm not going to want to work out.
Right, exactly.
No, that is weak.
And that's in your head. Like, if you are a physically fit person and like to go to the gym and like to eat healthy, in your head, eating McDonald's is the wrong thing to do. But it's not going to, just because this person is eating McDonald's is not going to make you eat McDonald's.
Because you don't want no McDonald's. Same thing. This is my beliefs, I don't want to do what the organization tell me not to do because in my heart, I don't like that. I'm not interested in that. Yeah. I have no type of, plans to do anything like that. Yeah. If you want to do that, it shouldn't affect me. Exactly. Unless I actually want to do it.
That part.
Wrapping this up at the paragraph 20, we can go down to that one in this last subheading. And it's about, disfellowshipping. So the disfellowshipping arrangement is a loving provision from Jehovah. It keeps the congregation safe from those who do not care about Jehovah's standards. Side note, it's not that people don't care about Jehovah's standards. People are imperfect and make mistakes. Yes. So it's not like they are disfellowshipping people because they just like, oh, well, I can care less. Right. No, it's somebody coming forward like, hey, I'm so sorry. This has been having me depressed. It's weighing down my conscience. I want to, clear my conscience and be a better person, a better servant of Jehovah. Yeah. I'm coming forward. So that's just a bogus statement. But
it's extremely manipulative for them to even say that. And knowing that there's so many people who have been disfellowshipped who still hold Jehovah's standards very high, the ones that they learned. So it's just very manipulative.
It is. Back into the paragraph. It helps us to show love for Jehovah's holy name, for his high standards, and for Jehovah himself. And the disfellowshipping arrangement shows love for the person who is no longer a member of the congregation. This strong discipline may help him to realize that what he is doing is wrong and motivate him to change. Many who were once disfellowshipped later returned to Jehovah and were warmly welcomed back into the congregation. So it's a couple things wrong with this. You should be able to have somebody that feels bad about something come forward and repent, but you shouldn't have to punish this person as a whole group. And to force them, it's like you strip away everything from them and be like, now what? You gonna do it? It's like torturing a person.
That's exactly what they do. And what did they say again about shunning? A person who shuns is never really happy?
Yeah, a person who isolates is never happy.
Oh, so all of the Jehovah's Witness organization, are you guys really happy because you all shun?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your own kids, your own mom, your own family. It's the lies. As a former Jehovah's Witness, you understand the lies, even the end, that once people are disfellowshipped, they're welcome back, they're warmly welcomed back. That is a lie. Everybody does not welcome you back. For one, you could have been a Jehovah's Witness for 30, 40 years. Yeah. When you come back, you got to study again. Yeah. They give you a book to study with somebody. It could be somebody who's been in the congregation less time than you, been a witness, less than you have. Mm-hmm. Or you have, once you come back into this organization, some people that was your friend before are not going to be your friend no more because, you're bad association. You were disfellowship. Yeah. They always say it's like once you get disfellowship and come back, it's like balling up a piece of paper and unwrinkling it, but it's still damaged. Yeah. You're damaged goods as a former or as a Jehovah's Witness that's been disfellowshipped. So you're not welcome back warmly. You got to get your privileges back.
And you're definitely not freely forgiven, which is what they always preach as well, is to freely forgive, just as Jehovah freely forgives. But they don't freely forgive. And another part is, what did they say? How it shows love for the person and how it might motivate, like the strong discipline might motivate them to change or realize that what he's doing is wrong. If somebody comes to the elders about something that they did wrong, they already recognize it as wrong. That's why they go to the elders.
Yeah, in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, to say motivate him to change what? If they already messed up and they're telling you that they messed up,
facts, babe.
What else is there to change?
Yeah, at that point they're saying, I don't want to do ABC. This is my time to turn it around.
Yeah.
That was it. But now it's like, no, we need to punish you and we need to torture you. It's like,
and make an example.
Yep, it's like when you see a movie where somebody's being tortured. They tell me so-and-so, you're not going to do it? All right, does this work? That's not working. Does this work? Does this work? They try so many things to hurt you until you finally give in. And that's what it is. You are so hurt by being stripped away from your family, by having all your support stripped away that you give in. And it's just like, you know what? A lot of people come back simply for the association of their friends and family.
A ton of
Most people, 9 times out of 10.
Yes, because half the time it's not for the teachings. I will even go as far to say that probably over 50% of Jehovah's Witnesses don't even know the core teachings of the organization.
50, I'll say 90%. Because
no, for real.
Honestly,
for real.
100%, not including the PMOs, because if you understood the real teachings of Jehovah's Witnesses, you wouldn't even be a Jehovah's Witness.
I truly agree with that.
Yeah, and if you do know that this is a sick congregation or a sick religion, and you stay around, why? Besides not including PMOs, because for those reasons, they have to stick around because of their family. But other than that, the only people that know this is a corrupt organization are the ones at the top. Yeah,
and the truth is people just like to be blind to certain things. Like they don't want to believe it. It tests what they have always hold in their self to be true.
Yeah.
And it's just a hard process to go through to recognize that the things that you have been taught are wrong.
It's easier to not know.
100% it's easier to not know. Like, we're not going to be fake with you guys. It's easier not to know. But once you do know, I think you go through one of two things. Either you withdraw and you decide to not look, at those negative things, or you're like the PMOs and like other people who have left and they're like, no, I'm not doing this because it's wrong.
It's wrong, but it comes down to change is uncomfortable. Yeah. And most people, that's not just with religion, that's life.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable to change. And most people would rather just stay in their comfort zone, even if it's really something that's making you uncomfortable. You just pretend to be comfortable. I learned or I heard something that I didn't like, and it make me feel a type of way to where I don't want to know nothing else that's going to make it worse. So I'd rather just stay in this uncomfortable feeling right here.
Especially if it's familiar. Like, it's easier to go through a familiar darkness than to go through an unfamiliar darkness and not even know when you're seeing the light. But I feel like we're proof that there is light at the end of the tunnel if you do decide to leave. Like, there is so much life to be lived, and there's so much to learn about life and about humans, and there's so many positive things that we were told in the organization that are negative. And just that whole unlearning and learning process, it's become more fun for us now.
It's addicting. Knowledge becomes addicting. The more it's like, you didn't know this and now you know it, and it's like, well, what else didn't I know? And you just go down this rabbit hole just learning more things. And the key to it is to understand that you don't know everything
and be okay with that.
And just because I always say, just because something is new doesn't mean it's wrong.
Absolutely.
There's so many things. Think about in school, they told us, Christopher Columbus, he discovered America. All right, that sounds true and some people believe it, but once you understand, wait a minute, there's a whole Columbus Day? Wait a minute, there's a holiday about something that was fake? Well, what else is fake? And once you continue through life with that, just because somebody had told you something your whole life doesn't mean it's right. And just because somebody gives you new information doesn't mean, no, that's wrong because I never heard that before.
Yes.
No.
And some people that are in religion are so very stubborn to this is the truth and that's it and that's That's all there is to it, period, point blank.
Yeah. I don't have evidence, but I got faith. I don't need evidence because I just know it's right. I don't have to have no evidence. And you don't have to show me no proof. I don't care. I don't need that.
Yeah, and I don't have to show you proof, because if it's not in you, then it's just not on your heart.
Yeah, that's it. Forget the proof. Proof is just very irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was definitely something that needed to be talked about.
Yeah, it was, because aside from just the hard shunning that they do with disfellowshipping, there is very much like a light, soft shunning that happens within the organization as well. Just with people who do love Jehovah and everything and practice the organization's principles, but even still, that is not enough, because they've been labeled in one way or another bad association, or they're new, like the paragraph said. Yeah,
it's levels to it. You just have to understand, just because Jehovah's Witnesses put it in writing doesn't mean this is what it truly is. It's trickery. That's all it is. You have levels to writing. You got, this is the publication we give to the public, and then this is what it really is behind closed doors when we study amongst each other. But we got to word it a certain way to reel people in. You just really can't trust this information.
Nope, not at all.
Not at all. But make sure y'all continue to drop the comments on here and suggestions, and hitting us up on our Instagram, Awaken Truths IG. Hit us up with y'all ideas, y'all stories, and we'll get to them when we can, and we'll just keep it going, right?
Yep, sounds good to me.
So what they got to do, babe?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll catch y'all on the next one.